Well, this time we're going to go through some actual grounding exercises. Grounding exercises using the pendulum so that we can enter into the novel through a portal that we can use to assign all the keywords and to come to their key meanings with our responses as their key values. To do that, I've assembled a, let's see, what I call a check-in questionnaire. I have to set up my computer here for a second, sorry. There we go. And basically this is showing you how to approach the same question from three approaches to the same question to cross and counter check the pendulum's responses, and perhaps further pursuing that 1 in 20 off ball, weird ball, that thing that dazzles you or maybe even depresses you. These are things that need to be explored, but to get there we need grounding, and to find grounding we start with a core script. So now it's time to do the setup and clear the decks. So a little furniture arrangement here. Forgive my hand as I lower the boom. Okay. Whoops. A little earthquake analysis here. Let's see. There we are. Okay, so now time to clear the decks. Okay, I'll keep that. My dog tags aside. I don't need my extra pendulums, the malachites. Get my tags up for the bobs. Okay, all that over there. We're going to open up. We're going modern here. Going to use a tablet so I can get to these. Here's my palette of various charts and maps. Yeah, that should, okay, we're pretty much online there. Now, returning to my questions, the first approach to the questions is going to be with the standard yes, no. So, I'm going to ask myself, get this set up, get my pendulum, the bob centered. Now, I'm going to ask, I'm going to make a statement. I don't offer a premise to sort of set up this series of questions at this point, as it's a very, the map is so revealing, it's either yes or no. So I'm going to make a statement and let's see what my subconscious thinks of that statement. I'm satisfied with my creation. I am satisfied with my creation. I am satisfied with my creation. Well, that's pretty clear. I am satisfied with my point of view. I am satisfied with my point of view. I am satisfied with my point of view. Let's move on. Okay, stop that. I am satisfied with my voice. I am satisfied with my voice. I am satisfied with my voice. Okay. I am satisfied with my setting. 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 Okay. Here you can see this is definitely a 20th question. Okay, we're going to stop that. when pendulum circles like that, that indicates it doesn't understand the question, or yes, no is not the appropriate answer. So that is one instruction that you should take. Put that in your mind. Anything that wanders like that, well, let's just continue. Setting is a problem. I am satisfied with my story. I am satisfied with my story. I am satisfied with my story. Okay. I'm satisfied with my plot. I am satisfied with my plot. I'm satisfied with my plot. I'm satisfied with my characterizations. I'm satisfied. Okay, there's a lot of satisfaction there in one circle of confusion, as I would call that migration of the pendulum around in circles instead of following any particular swing. Now I'm going to ask this same script to a different chart. This time we're going to scale the answers in a 0 to 100 scale. Yeah, there we go. So this time I'm going to ask a setup question, and I'm going to repeat the question afterwards, or a setup premise, and then repeat the questions for a value. Now, the premise is, on a scale of 0 to 100, where 100 is the highest strength, this is the strength of my creation. Well, I'm going to say that's about 90. This is the strength of my point of view. Oh, well, that's something of a surprise, but okay. What's that say? 60? That might be a high value, that might be a low value. It all depends on how things turn out later. This is the strength of my voice. This is the strength of my voice. Okay, 20. Yeah, we got something to work on there. I might be satisfied with it, but there's more that can be done. So think in those terms of when the question is repeated using a different map or chart, how that bears upon what it means, what any answer means in isolation. We don't want to do questions and answers strictly in isolation. We want to cross-check them. So continuing in that, this is the strength of my story. This is the strength of my story. Well, that's either 90 or 100, so I'm perfectly happy with my story. This is the strength of my plot. Now, plot and story are not always the same thing. And the plot, how am I doing on plotting? Okay, 60. And knowing that I feel okay about it, this suggests more can be done. This is the strength of my characterization. This is the strength. Okay, I'm satisfied with the characters that I've developed, and I feel that way, as evidenced by my subconscious and my conscious. So no surprises there. Now we're going to approach this from sort of a value judgment. Well, that last was a value judgment, but it was on a scale. Here we're going to use, let's see, where are you? Where are you? Okay, yeah. So I have a premise here that I have to state ahead of this suite of questions that I've developed. And the premise is, on an agreements level scale from most negative to most positive, I am confident about my creation. I am confident about my creation. Well, I couldn't be more confident than that. I'm confident about my point of view. Okay, that's somewhat positive. I am confident about my voice. Well, that's neutral. So we move on. I am confident about. Okay, I have to jump back and forth here. Voice, setting. I'm confident in my setting. Oh, goodness. It's somewhere between some negative and, well, it's some negative now. There's something going on. As I'm writing a 5-book series, there's certainly something going on in one of them that I need to look into. But as most of my other responses have been generally positive, this is, or generally high. If I were recording all the answers now, I could go into a finer analysis, but this is just freewheeling. So I'm going to ask the next question. I am confident about my plot. No? That's a mild positive. I am confident about my characterization. Well, there's 3 ways that I've confirmed that my characters have no problem. I can develop them better, but that might be overdeveloping, overwriting. Excuse my hands again as I adjust this up. So in that quick review, I've done a grounding exercise using a suite of questions, approaching each question from 3 directions, and we've seen that sometimes they converge, no surprises. Sometimes there's a divergent, even though the general trend is positive. We shouldn't say that there's anything negative about this. It's instructive. So there you are. This is in fact what I would expect you to be doing to build your skills in using the pendulum, and certainly visiting this suite of questions and in their appropriate chart selections to reground yourself, because again, like I say, that there's nothing set in cement about this. These swings will not always follow. Life changes, perceptions change, and sometimes attitudes do too. The pendulum's going to follow that. So with that in mind, this is the work that you've set out to do. If you can accomplish this much, you'll be ahead for having done it and nothing else. This is going to turn out well. Enjoy.